growing up, you know, what was it like, you know, as a child for you, growing up, you know, seeing the drugs and, you know, kind of being a product of the environment?
At first, I was kind of afraid of the drug game and drug dealers because, you know, me going to school in elementary, and they had this, I think, fucking McGruff program with this dog and shit. They always be like, say no to drugs, and you know, drugs is this big, you know, boogeyman type entity, and I was afraid of it at first. But you know, as in anything, when you are exposed to something and you be around it for so long, it becomes normal. So at one point, you know, I was in school and I was afraid to fuck with drugs and to see the big K9 people coming through and saying no to drugs. But then on the other point, you know, it was like shit. Once I got familiar with this type of activity going on in my neighborhood, within my own household, I was like, shit, fuck them. You know, this shit here is what's popping. They don't even know. They saying no to this, but this is what, you know, this is what got a lot of people eating. Yeah. Not looking at the other side of it, that is really destroying and devastating our community and our people. I was looking at the glory side of it. I was like, shit, you know, this shit here popping. This shit put money in the nigga pocket. But like I say, on the other side, you know, my mother was a victim to it. So I'm seeing how it do her, and I'm seeing, you know, the glory side of it, how it putting money in my pocket and helping other people who were not victim to it, you know, prosper. So it was kind of like a bittersweet situation. So, you know, that's what the drug game, that's how the shit did me, you know, psychologically.
Growing up, did you have any siblings, or were you only child?
Nah, actually, I had 4 sisters, and one brother until my younger brother was born. He was born late on in life. So, you know, I had like 4 sisters, and 3 of them actually live with us, and those are the ones who I really went to bat for in the streets, trying to hustle so we can keep food in the refrigerator. Because my mother and my father, of course, they wasn't able to do it due to the bad choice of you know, cocaine and crack. So I had to help them out.
What, were you the oldest?
Nah, actually one of my sisters, her name Adrian, she's the oldest.
Okay.
But she always stayed with my grandmother. She stayed with my mother's mother, so she didn't stay in the hood with us. She's like the bougie sister of the family. Yeah. So she always pretty much had it pretty good, because that side of the, you know, my mother and the mother, they wasn't wanting the bullshit. Nothing illegal, straight by the book, you know, school, do what you gotta do, manners and all that extra stuff. So my sister Adrian had it good, but my sister Jaquina, Krista, and Khalil, they was right there with us on the front line, so to speak, of the drug war. So you know, they got the raw footage of life with me. Yeah.
Well, would you say like you were like the head of the household?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I was the head of my household. I got an older brother, you know, by the name of Cut too. Okay. So he didn't stay in our house either. He stayed on the east side with his grandmother people because of, you know, my mother's situation. So he wasn't there either. So it was just me and my other 3 sisters. And, you know, I had to fend for them because they was young innocent girls being exposed to a crazy lifestyle, you know.
Yeah.
So I had to fend for them.
Growing up, like, you know, how did it make you feel personally to, you know, see your mother be a victim to the drugs, and, you know, your family, and, you know, just like what were some of the things that you can visually remember to this day seeing?
You know, I seen a lot of things that I guess I wouldn't make mention of right now, you know, due to the you know, respect of my mother, and, you know, to pay respect to the past, how she was living, because she came so far nowadays. But I seen some very, very ugly things, and shit that'll traumatize kids, you know, shit that kids shouldn't have to see.
Yeah.
You know, shit that's really unpleasant.
Yeah.
But overall, you know, those experiences as well, they taught me invaluable lessons, priceless lessons of the shit that I learned. You know, watching my mother and my father being strung out on crack cocaine.
Yeah.
I could truly say that you know, once you around that stuff for so long, like humankind, we are creatures of adaptation. We're gonna adapt regardless of whatever. And you know, I adapted to what was going on, and I began to accept, you know, all the shit that was going on, because sad but true, you know, somebody got to experience it. You know, unfortunately it was me, but fortunately it was me, you know what I'm saying, at the same time. So I had to experience that shit in order to, you know, to, I guess, to be who I am today.
Yeah.
And it gave me, you know, both sides of the game, so I can respect the game from both aspects. You feel me? I ain't no nigga that just, you know, got in the game because I wanted to be cool with my peers and shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no nigga that jumped into the streets because, damn, my nigga, you know, my mother over here, she a teacher, and, you know, she making pretty good money. She trying to keep me out of the street, but I want to be, you know, some other shit, and I got in the street. Now, I got in the street because I started selling motherfucking dope because my motherfucking mom was smoking rock. And all the niggas, you know, was around my block, around my house, selling my mother and her friends dope.
Yeah.
In my house on the first of the month. So I'm like, fuck them niggas. I need to get them niggas the fuck out my house on the first of the month. I need to be the nigga sitting in the house on the first of the month, selling. If anybody gonna be selling dope, it gonna be me putting money in my motherfucking pocket. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a prey. I'm a motherfucking predator. I'm an entrepreneur. So I'm most definitely, and I always had that mind state as a youngster. You know, I had that mind state to be more in control, in charge of things. Yeah. Leadership, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know those qualities at that time was qualities of leadership, but I always felt like that. You know, if anybody should be capitalizing off my motherfucking misery, it should be me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically the principle I applied into, you know, getting into the drug game.
Yeah. At what age did you first realize that, you know, like you said, like, I need to go ahead and, you know, be the one selling drugs around? Like, what age that was for you?
It had to be like when this is what crystallized on my, this is an interesting story. This shit crystallized on my 11th birthday.
Yeah.
When I was 10 and shit, you know, I had like still holes in my shoes going to school and shit, and it didn't feel good. And I used to see a lot of dope boys on the corner, on the Dunkin' block, and making home. Niggas had fresh shoes, the latest Jordans, you know what I'm saying, all this fly shit. And I was like, damn, I want some motherfucking new shoes. But I couldn't get no new shoes because my motherfucking mama was fucking up her check. Every time the first check came, you know, the welfare shit come, she fuck up the check. She owed it to the nigga on the corner. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so what happened on my 11th birthday, my brother, you know, he was in the dope game. He had some friends. It was a club back then called Fast Track, and them niggas used to go to the club every fucking first of the month. You know, I mean, every late night. You know what I'm saying? When they closed the trap down, and I walked outside. It was almost 12 o'clock at night, and I slammed the porch door, and a fucking big ass bomb of crack fell on the ground from. It was a ledge thing up there they used to put the dope on. Yeah. So when the shit fell on the ground, shit, I picked that shit up. Yeah. And I took it in the house to my mom. I'm like, Mom, look, I got some crack. You know what I'm saying? Help me get off this shit. Yeah. So she said, boy, you give me such and such, you know, I'll help you get off for it. Yeah. So that it started like that. Yeah. So my brother them never knew what happened to the crack. I had got the motherfucking shit, you feel me? Yeah. I got it myself, and that way, when I got that money in my pocket, and I got a sense of you know, ownership, a sense of self-sufficiency, I put that motherfucking money in my pocket. It was over from there. I'm like, shit, this is what I'm gonna be doing. So, you know, I think in the 6th grade, I was like, fuck school. I quit school and like, man, fuck that shit. I just got in the streets and just did my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Vicious, free chronicles, praying for rationality. Another casualty, regardless of nationality.